So what we need is to learn how to recognize and, as it were, identify with the sky-like nature of the mind, which is behind and supporting and underlying all the thoughts and emotions, but is not the thoughts and emotions. Do you understand? This is very important. There is that quality in our mind which witnesses, which observes, which knows. Normally we are not conscious of it because we are so totally absorbed in our thoughts and ideas and memories and daydreams. But we can stand back and see the thoughts and the emotions and the memories and the daydreams as just mental states, impermanent mental states which arise, last for a moment and disappear. They are not me, they are not mine. When we learn to recognize and abide more and more within the knower instead of the known, then there comes this liberation of the mind. And we can use our daily life to help us to begin to do this. The doorway to this, the doorway to liberation of the mind is through this awareness. This innate primal awareness which is the ground of our nature. And one step, a very important step towards beginning to connect with this and to stabilize this ability to be with the known, to be with the knower rather than just with the known, is through this mindfulness, this awareness connected with the body, what the body is doing, what the breath is doing, the ingoing, the outgoing of the breath, because it anchors us to the here and now. And as we become more and more conscious in the moment, and seeing our thoughts and feelings and opinions and ideas and memories and anticipations just as that, as peripheral, not as central to our being, then we also begin to get this inner space and this inner center. It's not enough, although it is important, to sit for meditation half an hour or an hour every day. Yes, this is very important, but just that will never achieve an inner transformation. We have to carry that awareness, that sense of presence into whatever we are doing in the moment. Really, honestly, we can be talking, we can be drinking, we can be working, and we can just be doing that, or we can know we are doing that. And in the moment of that knowing it, it's like everything, it's like this unfocused camera suddenly becomes into focus. It's a whole shift in our inner psychic world. It's unmistakable. Not thinking about being present, not thinking about being aware, but just being aware, just knowing, this naked knowing, this naked seeing. Usually when we start, we can only do it just for a few moments, and then we are thinking about it again. Oh wow, this is great, yeah, look, now I'm really aware. And of course we've already lost it, right? Doesn't matter. Then next time we just perk up the mind. One of my teachers here, one of our yogis, used to say, well, every hour try you know, maybe 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, just to remember. Just even for a few seconds, to perk up the mind, just for a moment. What is happening in this moment, knowing it, what the body is doing, what the mind is doing, just seeing, without comment, without judgment, just in that, just for a moment to know it. And then gradually, as we begin to do it more and more, the mind begins to understand, and the quality of our awareness and the ability to elongate those moments of inner spaciousness and knowing begin to get longer and longer and more frequent. We begin to spontaneously suddenly zap into being absolutely knowing, suddenly. Doesn't look outwardly like anything's changed, but inwardly everything has suddenly changed. And then those moments get more and more frequent and a little bit longer and longer until in the end they all join up. Then we are in a state of total Rigpa, we're enlightened. But in the meantime, even a few moments of really being present, of really being absolutely centered in this inner spacious awareness can transform our lives, because we see very, very clearly how much everyone, including ourselves, are totally caught up in our thoughts and emotions. That's all we experience. Do you understand this? We only experience the outer world through our senses and our sense consciousnesses, which then, through our perception, interpret it to us. If we had a different set of senses, we would perceive the world quite differently. And then how we interpret that to ourselves is what we experience. So we only ever experience our own mental content. Do you understand? Therefore, it's essential that we learn how to really clarify and clean up our inner landscape, because that's all we have, really. Because it's everything which we experience is colored by our own mental content. And that's what we experience, not the external reality. What is a reality? The only reality we can ever know is that which is interpreted to us through our senses and through our mental contents. So if our minds are completely unruly and wild, then all we're going to experience is outer chaos and problems. If our inner world is structured and spacious and open and clear, then there's no problems outside. The problem isn't out there, the problem's in here, right? If we experience hell realms, it's because the hell realm is within our own mind. So therefore, it's really important to use our relationships. I mean, we're better to cultivate compassion and loving kindness and patience and giving than amongst one's own family, with one's own partner, with the people one meets every day. Where else? You know, we talk about may all sentient beings be well and happy, but who are these sentient beings? Right? They're not these beings out there on the horizon somewhere. They're the person that's right in front of you right now. That's the person. And so every single being that we meet, including bank agents and government officials and whoever, may you be well and happy. Right? These are our field of understanding and of practice. Where else? So every breath we take, every thought that we think, every step which we take can be a way of really treading the spiritual path, if we are conscious. If we are conscious, then everything we do, every single word we speak, is a way of really beginning to come closer and closer to reality. Do you understand? We should be very happy because our happiness or our sorrow depends entirely on ourselves. Doesn't depend on anything going on out there. We are totally responsible. We go up or we go down. It's up to us totally, nobody else. So everything is in our own hands, and that's wonderful, isn't it? You know, nobody's stopping us from transforming our heart. No one's stopping us from being peaceful and happy. Who is stopping us? We are stopping ourselves. We are standing in the sunlight of our own reality and saying how dark it is. So we should step out from our own light.